My hands are still numb from the beating I gave to my wife's affair partner. Dear subscribers, today we bring a new tale of men rejecting modernity and embracing masculinity. Feeling uneasy about the sudden disappearance of the clunky wooden cabinet, I couldn't shake off the suspicion that something might be going on between Sarah and Mark from 5 doors down. The fact that he helped her move the heavy cabinet while I was at work seemed odd, especially since Sarah usually waited for me to handle such tasks. Doubt began to weave a web in my mind, and I couldn't ignore the nagging feeling that there might be more to the story. Sarah's explanation, that Mark happened to be passing by and offered assistance while walking his energetic golden retriever, didn't sit well with me. Was there really something innocent about this, or was there a possibility of an affair? Fueled by insecurity and suspicion, I entertained the most Hollywood-inspired idea I'd ever had, planting an audio recorder in our bedroom. I scoured the internet for a discreet yet powerful device, thinking that evidence might clear my doubts. It came in the next day, thank God for express delivery. I set it up behind a picture frame on our bedroom shelf. Sarah would never find it there, she hadn't dusted that shelf in months. For 3 days, I left for work with a feeling of dread, hoping to not find anything incriminating yet needing to know the truth. Each evening, I transferred the recordings to my computer and then listened to them on my breaks at work. On that fateful 3rd day, I heard it, the muffled sounds of Mark's voice, their laughter, and then the unmistakable sounds of intimacy. My heart pounded in my ears, the weight of betrayal pressing down on me. I felt a cold anger boiling inside, mixed with profound sadness. I left work immediately. When I stepped into my own house, there was Mark, standing in my kitchen, shirtless. In the heat of the moment, fueled by a potent mix of anger, betrayal, and adrenaline, I launched myself at Mark. In my mind I had Ric Flair screaming in my head.
Pal, I'll kiss your boots if you can do it, but to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
The room then echoed with the sound of my fist colliding with his jaw, and the force sent him stumbling backward, crashing over the dining room table. The furniture toppled over with a loud thud, adding to the chaos that now enveloped the room. I pursued him relentlessly, each punch driven by a surge of emotion. It was a raw and unfiltered outburst, a manifestation of the deep hurt and anger I felt. The air was thick with tension as I unleashed a flurry of blows, my fists meeting resistance with each impact. The room seemed to shrink, the surroundings fading into a blur as my focus zeroed in on Mark. Gasping for breath, I eventually took a step back, surveying the scene. Mark lay sprawled on the floor, bleeding and disoriented, a physical representation of the emotional turmoil that had unfolded. The room bore the scars of our impromptu confrontation, a disheveled dining area, scattered furniture, and a palpable sense of chaos. In a moment of intense fury, I grabbed Mark by his hair and, with a determined resolve, dragged him outside. The cold air hit us as we crossed the threshold, and in the dim light, I delivered a fair number of slaps, a visceral release of the pent-up anger and frustration. The echoes of the confrontation reverberated in the quiet night. Having physically expelled some of the rage, I retrieved my phone from my pocket. With a deep breath, I began recording a video, explaining the tumultuous events that led to the impromptu brawl in my driveway. I went back inside, the echoes of the tumultuous encounter still ringing in the air. The sound of Sarah's sobs reached my ears from our bedroom. Despite the anger churning inside me, I knew I had never and would never lay a hand on her. Storming into the bedroom, I found her huddled on the bed. "Pack your things," I barked, "and get your ass out of here. Never come back." She pleaded, tears streaming down her face, begging for another chance. But it was over. The trust had shattered, replaced only by the echo of her betrayal. I told her she was dead to me, instructing her not to call, not to text, to keep her mouth shut and never even speak my name again. In the next 1 hour she packed her stuff and moved out. In the meanwhile, I took a sledgehammer and destroyed my marital bed and threw it in garbage. My anger was out of control. I felt that I had made my point clear, but the saga wasn't over. I grabbed my phone again, navigating to Facebook. It was time for Mark's wife to know the kind of man she had married. After a quick search, I found her profile. Her name is Elena. Apparently, she was an MMA gym kickboxing instructor and a pro fighter as well. My lips curved into a grim smile as I sent her the video. That evening was overwhelming, and I was trying to process everything. The cacophony of emotions inside me was overpowering: anger, sadness, betrayal, and oddly, a dash of relief. But when I woke up, my phone was bombarded with notifications. It seemed Mark's wife, the badass kickboxer from the local MMA gym, had seen my message and the accompanying video. She replied with a string of furious messages and expletives, expressing her gratitude for unveiling the truth and promising that Mark was going to pay. In the aftermath, Sarah moved back with her parents, jobless and shattered. Every once in a while, I'd hear about her through mutual friends or distant relatives. The general consensus was that she regretted her actions deeply, but for me, forgiveness wasn't on the table and it never would be. As for Mark, he did not press charges on me as his reputation in the neighborhood took a nosedive that fateful day, and he did not want to be seen as someone hiding behind the cops. The last I heard, he was attending therapy and had moved out of town, perhaps in search of a fresh start away from judgmental eyes and vengeful kickboxing instructors. His wife not only divorced him, but from what I heard, she was arrested for domestic battery as she let her hands do the talking with him. On the other hand, I was healing slowly but surely. I got a call from Elena and she stated that I have good power in my hands but my boxing needs a lot of work. I laughed and asked if she can teach me. I began attending kickboxing classes with Elena, finding a new way to channel my anger and pain. After an intense session, we found ourselves at a local cafe, 2 cups of coffee in hand, laughing about the absurdities of life. Could this be a new chapter for me? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? All I knew was that the scars of betrayal still lingered, but they were fading, replaced by hope, resilience, and the ever-surprising twists of life. Well, that was pretty intense. How do you guys think he handled the situation? What would you have done differently, if anything at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Dear subscribers, we have crossed 2,200 subscribers and this could not have been possible without your support and love. We intend to grow this channel further and also plan to ditch the AI voiceover for a real human voiceover. Please share your thoughts and let us know in the comments below if you are looking forward to have a human voice and a human face, or is it fine with the AI voice and the AI guy you see here. Also, please let us know if you would like to see some reviews on real-life cheating incidents that happen around us.